Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon ruined by a new update. Hello again, I am Blunty. Hyperbolous title, I know. I love Pokemon, have done for the better part of 2 decades, and recently I've been enjoying Pokemon Moon, which I've been live streaming a playthrough of all of my story progress over on my Twitch channel, Blunty. But today there was some news about a new update, or at least the triggering of a new feature anyway, that I just felt a bit compelled to have a mini rant about. See, the Pocket Monster Overlords announced today that the first global mission, a brand new feature in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon where all players can combine their efforts to meet a collective goal in exchange for some in-game rewards. I had thought this was going to be pretty awesome. I was wrong. The first global mission, in fact, is nothing more than a dumbass pile of repetitive, boring busy work. The goal, such as it is for trainers to catch as many Pokemon as they can, aiming to reach a collective goal of 100 million Pokemon before December 13th. And in setting that goal, all that's going to happen is anyone actually interested in any kind of active participation in this global event will just buy a crapload of the cheapest basic Pokeball, grab a high-level Pokemon with False Swipe, and head to the very first starting area where the weakest, most easily caught Pokemon are, and mindlessly grind, probably for hours on end while watching cartoons or something, catching uncountable numbers of Pikipek and Yungas. You tell me, how is that fun? How does that enrich the gameplay experience? Answer for both, it's not, and it doesn't. And then what? Well, you're more than likely to see a whole crapload of those crappy, super common, low-level junk Pokemon flood the Wonder Trade system. And I love the Wonder Trade system. It's one of the best features they've added to the games in recent years. It's a fun little adventure of blind bag trading. Sometimes you get crap, sometimes you get awesome stuff, and sometimes you get a Pokemon that you really needed to fill out your Pokedex, or for your breeding requirements, or whatever. In fact, I usually end my Pokemon streams with a Wonder Trading session because it's a bit of fun just to wind down with. And in the last few streams, we've got some great stuff back from Wonder Trade. And when we do this on stream, I fly under the flag of what I've come to call the Good Guy Blunty rules, meaning I try and send out rarer or interesting or harder to catch Pokemon. For example, for Sun and Moon, I caught an entire box full of Abra just for Wonder Trading. Abra aren't super rare in this game, but certainly tricky to catch. And Good Guy Blunty rules also call for me to not send back out again any crappy Pokemon that come back in, so I'm not further polluting the stream of wonderful Wonder Trading. In the first several days following the game's launch, there was naturally a very high level of low-level dirt common crap Pokemon on Wonder Trade, because that's all people were able to catch that early in the game. But as more and more players progress through the game, it's gotten a lot better. However, Game Freak, with this new global goal, will absolutely reverse and retard all of that wonderful progress of increasing quality of experience on Wonder Trade by incentivizing players to just go out and catch as many easy, stupid, low-level common crap as they can to try and reach the goal and get the reward. And what else would you do with all those boxes full of crappy unwanted catches? There's no point keeping them, they just waste space. Sure, you could just release them, but why would you do that when you could just Wonder Trade them in the hopes of getting something more interesting? So that's what most people will probably do. So, for the next month or so, Wonder Trade fans, prepare for that feature to get annoyingly crappy once again. What a colossally stupid and short-sighted, dumbass, knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing, grindy, tedious, boring, repetitive, ridiculous, game-mutilatingly dumb idea for the first ever global mission. A feature that could have been used to pull the community together on vastly more interesting aspirations. So pop a comment and share the vid if you agree. Maybe wing this at the Pokemon Twitter account or something. I mean, it's too late to stop this feckless drudgery now, but maybe it'll make him think a little bit harder about the knock-on effects of future global missions. Thanks for watching, I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.